Create my favourite scene from Star Trek with me as Captain Kirk. You are, of course, the Gorn, and let's get it on, because I've got some trouble to bring to your door. What are you going to do about it?
You want to do it?
Yes, please.
You really want to do it?
Bobby.
It's going to be a little warm, it's going to be a little miserable, and there might be some people running around it, but I don't give a darn. All right, let's go do it.
Let's get it on. Bobby Clark, everybody, come on. AKA the Gorn. Woo! Check out my ringtone.
Coming up,
I love your hot buttons.
Chekhov's got me a hot date with Spock.
Yeah, that's great news, Walter. Thank you so much.
And it's time for my reunion. But will anyone come aboard my spaceship?
I can't fly the ship and twiddle the knobs and push the buttons. I can't do any of that by myself.
I'm nearing the end of my mission to bring back the most influential space adventure in TV history.
Nichelle Nichols!
Uhura said she'd make an appearance at the reunion on one condition.
If I come, it's got to be very special.
So I'm going to recreate my favourite scene with all the latest CGI.
That's rubbish. So I push myself off H. Do I look like Vinegar Tits?
Sulu couldn't resist my invitation.
I love your hot buttons.
Walter and his wig will both be there.
Chekhov! Chekhov!
While the Gorn is itching for a knuckle supper.
Sniff it, Gorn! Sniff it!
Yeoman Rand is unavailable.
I can guarantee that I would not mention the syrup.
And Captain Kirk said an absolute definite no. But I've just been woken up with some good news.
Leonard's people called. He wants to see you.
Is this wind up?
Walter Koenig has pulled a blinder and got me a very precious 30 minutes with Leonard Nimoy, a.k.a. Spock.
All right, guys.
Leonard will grant me an audience, but I need to get to his house quick sharp before he leaves town on business. From what we've heard, first impressions with his royal Spockness mean everything.
All right. My breath stinks. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Spock's going to have to smell this. I haven't washed. I stink. I haven't had a poo. I'm not going to take a dump at Spock's place. What are you talking about? Is this it? Sam?
This is it.
Is it?
House, yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah, this is it. He said that we can't film outside his house though, so you've got to kill the camera. That's it.
We're at Mr. Spock's house. This is Mr. Spock's garden. Mr. Spock has just made me this coffee. Trouble is, we've only got about 30 minutes to set up. We're only out to just film the interview here. Nothing else, but do you know what? That's good enough for me. I'm in Mr. Spock's backyard, and what Mr. Spock says goes.
Hello, hello.
Hello there.
Hello.
Leonard Nimoy, everybody.
Leonard Nimoy played the green-blooded, half-human, half-Vulcan Mr. Spock. Network execs were initially worried that the character looked too devilish and frightening for viewers, so they asked for his ears and eyebrows to be made to look more human. The colour of his skin also had to be changed.
Well, the original idea that Gene Roddenberry had was that Spock should be red. Literally red. The problem was that in 1966, when we went on the air, there was still a lot of black and white TV sets operating, and the red just went totally black. So Spock became a black person, and that wasn't the intention. So we did away with the red and went to this yellowish look.
Despite the network's initial fears, it was Spock's distinctive appearance which helped make him so popular with viewers.
Tell me, did you happen to make any comment about those ears?
In this famous scene, his shipmates are obsessed with one thing.
But I did get the distinct impression she found them the most attractive human characteristic of all.
Something Nimoy couldn't escape in the outside world.
She really liked those ears? Captain.
The easy press thing for the journalists was Leonard Nimoy, he of the pointed ears, or Spock, the one with the funny ears, you know. And I'd get invitations to come places and bring your funny ears, you know. For an actor that took himself seriously, it was a little difficult. Could I come without the ears? Would it be okay, you know? But we got past that.
Oh, my goodness me. Wow. And these are the last ears you ever wore?
No, that's the last pair that I wore on the series. But this is very precious to me.
Can I have them?
Which would make
Spock also gave the world the Vulcan greeting,
which, like his ears, would become an icon of the series and adopted by fans around the world.
Live long and prosper.
It was Nimoy himself who introduced the symbol based on a traditional Hebrew gesture.
This is the shape of a Hebrew letter in the Hebrew alphabet. It's called the Shin. And it makes that SH sound. So it's the first letter in the word Shaddai, which is a Hebrew name for the Almighty.
Which I can't do. Look.
What about your other hand? Can you do it? Same problem.
Just the same.
Well, all right.
But I have to spend 8 minutes.
All right. You have to spend some time working with that.
Can you just bust it out whenever...
Yeah, either hand, yeah.
The greeting had its first outing in this scene featuring fellow Vulcan, T'Pau. What viewers didn't realise was that out of shot, she was struggling to flick him the V's.
She had the same problem that you do, by the way.
Really?
Yeah, she couldn't quite get there. She held her hand prepared, held it in shape with her other hand out of the side of the camera. So when it was time, she was ready and she lifted it up and went like that.
What I love about that is that's something that you took from the Jewish church, but now it crosses religions, crosses cultures, and everybody, regardless of culture, regardless of religion, they're all doing that. Oh! Did you just see that?
I knew you could do that. I knew it.
Normally I have to do that.
I'm impressed.
Thank you.
You've come to the right place.
I'm in the presence of Spock, and now I can just do it. And that wasn't the only special thing Spock could do with his hands. This scene, where a good Kirk is fighting a bad Kirk, is when viewers first got to see the legendary Vulcan neck pinch.
It was written that he hits him over the head with the butt of his phaser and knocks him out. And I said, I don't think that's appropriate. So I said to Bill, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to come up behind you and do this. And Bill did that and dropped it. I didn't want Spock involved in brawls, so I just found this way of dealing with it very simply and very quickly. Sure, there's something on your left shoulder there.
Really?
And come over to the west side, and then you're gone, you know. That's it.
For Leonard, spending so much time in Vulcan character was beginning to affect his home life.
Being in that character, 12, 14 hours a day, my personality changed.
In what way?
Well, I became more rational. I became more logical. I became more thoughtful. I became less emotional. I drifted towards that Spock-like kind of being. I could feel it on the weekends. On Saturday, after working 5 days as Spock, Saturday I would still be in the Spock zone. Sundays, by about 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon, it would start to go away.
By the third series, budget cuts hit the show and led to increasingly ridiculous storylines like this one, where Spock's brain is stolen and he has to be operated by remote control. As a direct result, viewers switched off in droves, and for the cast, the dodgy plots and sets were a clear sign that the end of the show was nigh.
I never felt we were getting network support, never. They gave us a terrible time slot, and the show died a dismal death, and I frankly was relieved, because we're not doing good shows, we don't have an audience. Why run this thing into the ground? We've done our best. Let's leave it, let it go, let it go.
What do you think is the legacy of the original Star Trek?
Star Trek told us that we were all part of one civilization. And wouldn't it be wonderful if we could find a way to communicate with each other without being demanding and insisting that you be more like me? If we could find a way to enjoy each other's characteristics and understand and appreciate each other. And I think that's the major legacy of the show.
Leonard Nimoy, a.k.a. the actor who played Mr. Spock. Live long and prosper.
And the same to you. Thank you very much.
Leonard Nimoy, everybody. That's it. It's all over. I can't believe what I've been through for the last 10 days. I've had Sulu biting my buns, Kirk's dogs wanting to rip off my plums, and Uhura trying to slip me the tongue. Now it's down to business, and time for this captain to take to the skies and fly. It's reunion day, and over at the studios my CGI spaceship is finally ready.
Oh, come on. The USS Collins. I love it. I've got a window. I can see Uranus, Sammy. It's exactly what I wanted to see. Look at that. Coming monitors. A bit of space porn. That's cheeky.
I order you to make love to me.
actually is a bit wrong. Let's watch that later on.